Before I do start this video, make sure to use my TCG player affiliate down below if you're looking for any of these singles that I talk about today. Also, this channel is sponsored by Arcane Fortress. If you're looking for the best deck boxes around, make sure to use my link down below in the description to check them out. One other way you can support the channel is by becoming a patron. There are some great benefits of being a patron to the channel, such as giveaways, deck advice, and more when you do join.
The world you play, I don't want to set the world on.
Democracy is non-negotiable.
Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Devin coming back at you with another video today on PubStomp MTG, and in this video today I will be discussing Liberty Prime Recharged for CEDH. And this is a really interesting commander mainly because it's a giant mecha. I absolutely love mechas, especially if they're huge like Liberty Prime. Of course there's other ones that I do love like Pacific Rim, which honestly would be a very cool crossover by the way. Wizards, please do that next. Besides the point, let's discuss Liberty Prime Recharged in CEDH, and a disclaimer before doing this video, I know it's not the most optimal choice for a CEDH commander, but it is an option because it's an infinite mana outlet. So before diving into the deck, let's read what Liberty Prime does. So for 2 blue, red, and a white, let's be real, let's just call it red, white, and blue because this is as full as American as you can get, especially with that flavor text. Democracy is non-negotiable. He's a legendary artifact creature, robot, does have vigilance, trample, and haste. Whenever he does attack or block, sacrifice it unless you pay 2 energy counters. He does also have that activated ability by paying 2 and tapping it. Sacrifice an artifact, you get 2 colorless mana, you get 2 energy counters, and draw a card. So what's very nice about this ability, and what I do like about Liberty Prime Recharge, is the fact that he does have haste, so you could tap him immediately so that you could get 2 energy counters and draw a card. So in a way that's a very cool synergy, and I feel like that's a very not so viable way of going into CEDH. Of course, the game plan of this deck is to sacrifice himself. He is a legendary artifact creature, so that you can get 2 energy counters and draw a card. So he is an outlet for infinite mana, and in this deck tech, there's a lot of ways where we could get infinite mana. And so let's dive into some of the options. The first notable one is Auriok Salvagers and also Lion's Eye Diamond. This is a classic way to get infinite mana of any color. Of course, on the small price to pay, you do have to discard your whole entire hand. But once you do get that infinite mana by constantly sacrificing Lion's Eye Diamond, returning it back with Auriok Salvagers, you can get infinite mana, then cast Liberty Prime Recharge to sacrifice him so that he goes back to the command zone. And each time you do sacrifice him, you do get 2 energy counters and draw a card. You could essentially draw your whole entire deck. The same can be said for various Dockside combos, for example, Baron Master Wizard and Dockside Extortionist. Baron does have that ability to sacrifice a permanent, return target creature to its owner's hand. So this way, if you do have enough treasure, you could sacrifice a treasure token and pay 2 mana to put Dockside Extortionist back to your hand, put it back on the battlefield, gain the amount of treasure appropriate to get infinite treasures on the battlefield. Then like the Auriok Salvagers, we could use Liberty Prime to basically draw our whole entire deck. Another way we could do so is by using Cloudstone Curio and Dockside Extortionist. The one downside to Liberty Prime is the fact that he is an artifact creature, because Cloudstone Curio does read whenever a non-artifact permanent enters the battlefield. So unfortunately Liberty Prime won't count for that, but we do have 18 creatures in our deck that we could utilize in our deck so that we could bounce Dockside Extortionist and another creature back and forth to get infinite treasure with Cloudstone Curio. Probably the best way though to get infinite mana is by using Isochron Scepter and Dramatic Reversal. These are each ways that we could essentially untap all our non-land permanents, and if we do have enough mana rocks, we can get infinite mana. And of course I had to use the Optimus Prime art because Liberty Prime and Optimus Prime are basically just long distance cousins from another universe, so why not throw this in there with a new art. Another combo in the deck is using Teferi Time Raveler and Displacerkin, and with a mana rock that's positive. So essentially you'll just return that mana rock back to your hand. That's 0 mana essentially. Then you'll cast that, and then with Displacerkin on the battlefield you can blink Teferi Time Raveler so that you could get it refreshed and that you could use his -3 ability again. You can tap that mana rock in response to get the mana, then return it with Teferi Time Raveler to your hand and repeat the process until you draw your whole entire deck. And what I do like about this combo specifically is the fact that each opponent can cast spells only at the time they could cast sorceries. So goodbye any interaction. Unfortunately, the downside up to Fairy Time Raveler, if you do just cast this, it does have the negative if you just pass the turn that you could possibly give the opponent the win. And those are mainly the infinite mana outlets. The other combos, of course, we are on a Breach package using Brain Freeze and Lion's Eye Diamond. Because we are in Jeskai colors, we could take advantage of Intuition. It's a great way of basically using Savine's Reclamation to return Underworld Breach to the battlefield. So Liberty Prime is technically not a infinite mana outlet. It just has a way to draw our whole entire deck the ways we can possibly win. Thassa's Oracle, I have been debating on putting it in the deck because we don't necessarily have black in our deck to use Tainted Pact or Demonic Consultation. But if we do draw our whole entire deck, we could just put this on the battlefield. A backup, and I feel like maybe even a better option just because it's in that new Fallout reskin, is Walking Ballista. If we do get that infinite mana off of the various ways, we could just cast the Walking Ballista for 69,420 and then ping everybody to death for sure that way. So that is mainly it as far as the combos and the deck goes. So thank you for coming by and see you next time. But now let's go over the whole entire deck. Of course, I'm just going to break down some cards little by little. I'm not going to go over the whole entire package. But the one downside to this commander though is just an outlet for infinite mana. And really it doesn't provide us complete card draw because we're only sacrificing an artifact and tapping it to draw a card. So in a way it doesn't really get us there completely as far as card advantage goes. So I did add a lot of card advantage pieces. Of course in the enchantment slot we do have Trouble in Pairs. This is the one I'm testing. I feel like it's a little overrated, but we'll see how it goes in more testing. Rhystic Study, Mystic Remora obviously includes that are good. Of course the One Ring is especially good in this deck because Liberty Prime does sacrifice an artifact. If we do have a lot of burden counters on the One Ring, we can sacrifice it to Liberty Prime so that when we go to our upkeep we don't have to die to all that life that we will lose with each burden counter. And that's a very narrow and niche synergy, but honestly I just wanted to highlight that specifically with the One Ring with Liberty Prime. Of course, we can also take advantage of Minamo, School at Water's Edge, because with the One Ring, we could just untap it to get some more card draw. Same does go for Liberty Prime. If we do have some extra treasure lying around, we could just tap Liberty Prime to draw a card and get 2 energy counters, then use Minamo later on to untap it to repeat the process to draw some more cards. In a way, I do feel like we are going to have to run a lot of counter spells in this deck, a lot of interaction, so that we could really make sure we get in with our game plan of getting infinite mana. So a lot of tutors, a lot of counter spells, a lot of your normal packages you will see in Jeskai colors. So of course this just will give you some ideas as far as building around Liberty Prime Recharged. Honestly, if you just replace this with Jeskai Ishai, you'd basically be having the same deck. You could take some stuff out and just put stuff in and it would be basically the same deck. But I do like Liberty Prime Recharged for the fact that it is another infinite mana outlet in the command zone for Jeskai colors, and plus it's a really cool mecha. So honestly, what's not to like about it? I absolutely love it. And so this is more of just a quick deck tech as far as everything goes for Liberty Prime. Just showing you some of the win cons, showing you some of the cards that I added personally in the deck. But let me know down below in the comments, what are your thoughts and opinions about Liberty Prime Recharged? Do you think it will see CEDH play? I personally don't think it will, but I do feel like it's a fun card to play in random pods where you don't necessarily know what they're doing, especially with Liberty Prime. Like, okay, you're bringing that to the table. Why? So it does have the surprise factor. A lot of people will see Jeskai Ishai saying like, wow, we know we need to target them really fast or else they'll beat us all up. But with Liberty Prime, they'll be like, okay, that's not as bad as Jeskai Ishai, so they'll underestimate it. But again, let me know down below in the comments, what are your thoughts and opinions? Also, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. With that out of the way, thank you for stopping by.